this kind of strength and you stitch across the bias like that, you've created a perforation just like you would in paper.
Yeah.
That goes over the tongue. But you know, when someone pays for a custom saddle, I don't know if they want to share it.
Better not.
Better not. So Caden and I have been absolutely swamped. Caden's got a new job, bought a house, fixing it up. It's summer, we've been doing some fishing, horseback riding, and haven't had time to sit down and get the video done. So off camera, I had to take these steps to get this saddle to the next level. And what I did on this saddle was I cut out this handhold. I cut out this handhold, and this is based on the handhold that's in the seat. Okay.
So how'd you cut it out?
I used the trusty knife. So what I do is I get this seat in position, and then I mark. Remember, before I cut this out, this was all solid.
Mm-hmm.
I mark where this handhold is, and then I take that off and I do a 3/4 inch recess of this mark, and then I just go through and cut this out.
With your utility knife?
Yeah, with the utility knife. And just cut and keep
Holy
cutting until
cow,
you get
through the rawhide?
Yeah, through the rawhide, so you can see.
Wow.
You can see that. So then I do a filler here that brings this fork cover back to where the seat is going to cross. Okay? Mm-hmm. So that's what this filler is, and this gets all covered with the fork. I fit up the cantle back. All of these edges are skived down.
And that just kind of clicks in right there.
Yeah, and that fits in right under here. Follows the contour of this filler that we put in. And then in videos in the future, you'll see how I incorporate all that. Okay, so then once the fork cover is cut out and fit up to this, then I screwed it down and let everything dry. Okay, and that leads us up to what we're going to do today. However, I do want to say, I filmed all this. I filmed this process, and Caden got the video, and the sound and the quality was just horrible. So we decided that we can't put that out.
You guys would have been pissed. The sound was tough.
It was tough.
The mics didn't work, and yeah, but
we might have
the video quality was good. It's just the audio didn't work, and editing it's really hard.
And we'll have some clips of me doing this in a short somewhere in part of it or something. You'll be able to see that. All right.
What are we doing today?
Today's video, I'm going to take you guys through how I do fenders, stirrup straps. You'll see how I did, how I cut this out, took it to the grinder, all that kind of stuff, and got it. Since this is rough out, there's no tooling. I'll show you how I fit all of this stuff up, stitch it, mount the Blevins, and get them ready to put on a saddle. This is the fender, okay? And you can see. So here's something that would be really good for people to see. Because this is rough out, when you oil rough out, it's super porous. Mm-hmm. The oil penetrates all the way through. And what ends up happening, this will take several days to even out. If I was oiling this grain side, you wouldn't have this problem. Mm-hmm. So you can really over oil rough out. So much so that if you do it on a rough out seat, you'll compromise the glue.
Wow.
So you got to be really careful about oiling rough out. Okay, so this is oiled and ready to go. These are the stirrup straps. All right, these are all based on the measurement of the rider. So I'll take a person's outseam, which is hip bone to floor, and that measurement will determine the length of the fender and the length of the stirrup strap. So when they're sitting in the seat, roll this camera over here, when they're sitting in the seat,
we just happen to have a
finished
beautifully
saddle.
completed finished saddle right here.
Everyone has gone through this that's ever ridden. This flap right here from the stirrup strap hangs down to your toe. It's really dangerous because that strap can get stuck with your toe can get stuck with it, and then your foot gets bound in the stirrup. So I shoot to make sure that these straps are the right size for the rider. Now, that doesn't make it easy for other people to ride their saddles, but when someone pays for a custom saddle, I don't know if they want to share it.
Better not.
Better not. Right. So we'll do that part. We'll get that glued up and sewn, and then these are the liners. They go here, like that, and you'll see that, and then I'll mount the Blevins, and I'll show you how I hold the twist in the fender. All right, so let's get going. Right now it's still slightly damp. And the first thing I do is drop my maker stamp. First thing I like to do is put my maker stamp on here. We'll go through each one of these, and if someone needs to adjust a little bit, this gives them an easy reference on both sides, so they stay even and they're not counting holes. So they're just simple number stamps. And I do 5 holes to start with, and if somebody needs to add holes up here, maybe a couple, but that makes things get out of proportion. Okay, so that's ready to go. And this is to reduce bulk under your legs, so you don't have a bulge there, you know, in the. And so the reason you do it this way is so that these stirrup straps are replaceable down the road, because, you know, they wear and stretch and over time, you know, so you can take them in and have them replaced. What I have in my hand here is the Blevins buckle sleeve, and this is what I use, and it is pretty common to adjust and hold your stirrup leather loop. See, it's 2 pieces. It's a full loop of leather.
Going around the rocker.
Going around the bars.
Yep.
Right. This is the spring steel sleeve. We cover them in leather so they look nice. That covers the tongue of this part, and I'll show you when I put this together how that works. And these are the pins that you put through the stirrup leather,
right,
and slide that down over. Now there's several versions of this. There's some tongue versions. There's some slide-on clips.
The old school is just with the lacing around.
Yeah, the old
outside.
school is
Yeah.
laced. Is laced.
I have that on my saddle. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, but they're a bear to adjust. So we got away from those because these are a lot easier to adjust. I do that for people. I do the laced kind because it's the softest. You don't have this rigid piece on your leg. So
it's also the most traditional.
Most traditional, right? I settle on these because I feel like they're the most secure. They do not come off when you're riding. One of the most dangerous things that can happen is if this buckle comes separated.
That's a problem.
Yeah, that's a problem. These buckles have a spring clip on them. When you slide this down, you can hear it. Listen. Clicks in place and stays there, and then they don't come off. So what I do with these is I edge them, and I'll do that. I'm going to show you. I'll edge these, and then stain them the color of the saddle so that they look like they were supposed to be there. And these buckles, the other good thing about them is they're made in Wyoming.
Are they really?
Yep.
Wow.
Same company, father, son, started it. Wheatland, Wyoming. And they've been made in Wheatland, Wyoming for ever.
Wow.
So, yep.
Shout out to them.
Yeah.
Is that the same stain as the rest of the saddle?
Yeah.
Even though the leather's much lighter.
Right. And so they won't be perfect, but they'll be pretty close.
Better than
being blonde.
Yep.
Yeah. If they come out too light, I'll coat them twice with, hit them twice with stain, make it a little darker. But then these will get hit with the Aussie so they don't squeak. Had a customer text me the other day and said, my saddle started squeaking, what do I use? Aussie.
It's funny, some people really like squeaking leather.
Yeah, they do. Yep.
And other people drives them nuts.
If you do a lot of riding,
Drives them
super
nuts.
annoying. Super annoying. Okay, we got the glue set up on both sides. And back to our guideline here. when you sew something, you're perforating it, right? It's cutting through the leather all the way on that line. And if you cross, so if you need strength, this kind of strength, and you stitch across the bias like that, you've created a perforation just like you would in paper.
Yeah.
And that place can tear, and you see that on.
And that's where it will tear every time.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Now, that can be a designed feature. Like, for example, on a halter, if you want a halter, if you're going to leave a halter on a horse, you want it to break away if they get stuck in a fence. And so what I'll do is I'll sew across where all the buckles meet, so that they can tear the halter off if, you know, in a bad situation. I mean, it's take a lot of force, but they can get it done.
Mm-hmm.
If I did that here, if I sewed this like this and I sewed across here, it would tear right there on that stitch line. If you don't do that, leather's really strong.
And if you run your stitch lines with the direction of the strength, it strengthens it.
Yeah, strengthens it, right,
So,
and reduces stretch.
Yeah.
Right, correct. Okay, so all sewn up. I'll go through and I'll stain all these edges here on both parts, and then we'll glue these up, the liner here, and get that sewn in, and then we'll mount the buckles and top coat it with the Aussie. I'll show you how we do that, and then they'll be ready to roll. See how that works? I'll push that down, it gets stain flowing. That's why I hit it like that. Put a little Aussie on these tough spots to oil. And this will reduce the squeaking. So they darken up pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
This is the majority of the squeak. Comes right here where these leathers cross the bars.
Right.
And hit the inside of the jockeys. So I put plenty of this on right in this area. And then the back sides of the fenders. Flip them over. Now we'll put these together here. And then these will get sewn together. And the purpose of this part is so that you have some resistance to wear when the stirrup's riding in there.
Sure. Yeah. It's just double layer with
double layer, correct.
Yeah, with the tough side of the grain.
Correct.
Through both sides?
Through both sides. Okay, that's done. That won't hurt the horse or anything. Sometimes they'll go flying. I'm going to take the blunt end of this, give that a couple of wraps, and so that just sets a little mushroom to start with, and then I finish it with a
Nice.
and then they're recessed down in. All right, so then when they're hanging, just like we showed you on that saddle, when they're hanging, forces the stirrup to be perpendicular, so it's easier on your knees.
Cool.
Yeah. These go through the end, to this hole here, these two holes here, and then it keeps this from sliding off the. pretty much use this on all the strap goods. Anything, especially anything that's going to get wet in this lower part, touches the horse a lot, you know, gets sweaty. Mm-hmm. Remember to put your slide on first before you put this on. Spoken like a guy who's done that before.
No.
Nah, not a chance. Okay, just like that. And then got the fenders done. Now let's grab our stirrups. And we'll mount these on here and we'll have a completed picture. Come on, Mark, you can do this.
You can do it. You've done it.
You can do this.
Once before.
Yeah, a couple times before. Now these will get, we don't have them done yet, but these will get hobbles.
Yeah. Just a band that goes across the bottom to
Right.
keep them retained.
Keeps them from flopping. So you can see how that wants to hang straight sideways. So inside this stirrup is this frame. These are hickory, made in Ohio. And so I covered the inside. There's a seam underneath this foot here for the inside piece. And the outside is one continuous piece. And so I put that, take these bolts off, cover the inside of it first, put the bolts back in, trim the end off, and then apply this tooled portion to the outside and then sew them up with the stirrup foot, which is on the sewing machine. So all my saddles have this frame on the inside unless somebody makes a special request, you know, wants a breakaway stirrup or wants them to be half covered like this. Shiny stainless steel, and then just cover the tops of them.
Those look nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like those.
Yeah. So that's a nice.
That's a pretty saddle, man. That is a good looking saddle. Check out our short. We got a good short.
Yeah,
Showing the
Short's
saddle
great.
off, so that's a good one.
A lot of you'll have the question as to how these get mounted to the saddle. They're not really ready. This is too early to do it, but I'm going to show you how we do it. I'll even take this fork cover off, and then you can really see how it fits up in there. So this gap that I built into the ground seat right here, that's going to slide up along the bar, and then underneath, you see there's that relief. Mm-hmm. So it can come through. And what you want...
Oops. Mic down.
Mic down. What you want...
Only the highest production quality.
That's right. What you want is plenty of freedom. See how that stirrup has got lots of freedom, that leather. And then that's going to sit up under the jockey of the seat like that. Now these two colors will start to match as this oil distributes. Like that.
And then it's got the
hobble.
The hobble. Just like
and
that right there.
Right, and when we get to the end, when I get ready to do that, once these are finally mounted on the saddle, I'll soak this in water and then do a permanent twist like is on that saddle. You'll see how tightly twisted that is, and put the hobble on so it stays in that position like that. Yeah. All right, so that's how the stirrups are done. That's how they're built, mounted, attached to the saddle. Hope this video was informative, and thanks for watching. See you on the next one.